Hey, well, hi Deck, and anybody who's cared to join us today. It's quite sunny out here in Spain, not what it's like in England or anywhere else. It's quite hot. Anyway, this is video 7, I think. What I want to talk about before we go on to the end of that song that you were learning last week is just a few scales. Now we know the major scale, C major, okay, and we know the structure of that scale. Now, every major scale has got a relative minor scale, okay, and the only reason for that, as I said before, is because it shares the same key signature. Therefore, there are no sharps or flats in the key of C major, the natural key of C, so there's no flats or sharps. So therefore, in A minor, the natural A minor scale, there's no sharps or flats in that either, okay, and that shares the same key signature as C, okay, none. And as in, say, another one, the key of G major, there's one black note in the key of G major, that's F sharp. Well, we'll come back to that later, but they share the same key signature. So in the key signature, there would be an F sharp if it was in the key of E minor, which is the relative one to G. To find the quickest way to find out which is the relative minor to any major key, it's usually the 6th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A minor. But most musicians, the quickest way down to see which one it is just to drop down a minor third. And we talked about thirds, and a minor third is small, it's smaller than a major third. So from C, there's a semitone, there's another semitone, two semitones makes it a tone. So there's a tone, and from there, the B flat to A is a semitone. So there we got the tone and a half, so that's a minor third. So that's a relative minor to the key of C. And it works the same as in G. There's G, drop down, there's a tone to there. And from F to E is a semitone. And that is E, so that's the relative minor key to G. Okay, E minor. Let's get back to this board, and I've wrote this out to save a bit of time. Don't know if you can see it all up there. From there, probably not. Let's have a look at this one here. The top one for a start. I was going to plug this one in, but I forgot. This is, top one here is the A natural minor scale. And it consists of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, and then it comes back down the same. So that is played. And you can hear the harmonics of that. And that is the natural minor scale, okay? Which is the top one there. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, I can't get it right. That's the top one there, okay? Now then, there's two other scales, minor ones. Two other minor scales. And one is the harmonic minor scale, okay? Now in the harmonic minor scale, there's one sharp, and that is on the 7th degree of the scale. It starts on A, they all start on A, these scales, because they're all related to the key of C. Now this one would go, you can see that there, start on A, and there's your 7th degree there, which is G sharp. Sorry. There, G sharp. And I might add that the fingering is exactly the same as playing the C major scale. 5, 4, 3. Tuck under for your thumb. 5. It's 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's the same for the other one where you're going up for the sharp as well. took over. Now that is the harmonic minor scale, okay, and it has one sharp, which is G sharp. Now that's not shown within any key signature. Apparently, once upon a time, whether about Mozart or whoever, the classical pianists, Schubert or whatever, they invented these scales, so I'm told anyway, and they experimented with key signatures, but it didn't really work apparently. So now they just kept it no key signatures. And what you've got to look for, if you want to know whether it's a harmonic minor scale or a natural minor scale, you look for an accidental within the piece of the music. So if it's written in A minor, you know, you've got to look for an accidental, which is the G sharp, okay, which is that one. If that appears a few times within the piece of music, it would more likely be the harmonic minor scale that the piece of music is written on, as opposed to the natural minor scale. Now all these three scales, the fingering is exactly the same as the major scale, so you've got no new fingering to it. And in the left hand, I don't have to show if the C major scale starts on the 4th, and it works sort of 4 2 5 2 5 4. Okay, go again mixed up. 5 4 3 2 1. Okay. So we took over at that point. On the 5th. Same on the A minor. And same as on the melodic as well. Minor scale, sorry. Now the other scale, which is the melodic minor scale. Now a lot of jazz musicians actually use this scale, and probably sometimes the harmonic minor scale. And I think there is parallel minor scales as well to certain keys, but we won't go into that. I don't play a lot of jazz myself, unless it's like a little bit of mainstream. But the jazz musicians tend to use this scale here, the harmonic one, as well as the other ones. Now the melodic minor scale, the fingering is exactly the same, but on the 6th degree and the 7th degree, the notes are sharpened. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And coming down, they are naturals. So we go G, F, E, D, and the fingering is exactly the same for the left hand, if you want to play it with the left hand. Scales are really good for exercising your fingers before you start to play anything and learn anything. It loosens all your fingers up, and you can also stretch your fingers with on the front of your keyboard, especially if you want to play some big spans. That's the 10th with the 5th. And also I'm playing there, C major triad. Instead of the E being in the middle, I put the up there, which is 10 notes away, over. Shift that over there and you get a 10. But you know, if you want to do that sort of thing. Right, anyway, that's these melodic minor scales. Now, say for instance like the A minor scale, as well, going back to the melodic one, you would have to look for these because there's no key signature, so it shares the same as C. You would look for these accidentals for the 6th and the 7th to see if they're sharpened, and if there's any naturals as well coming back down, then that would give you an indication it would more likely be a melodic minor scale. Okay, and like say this particular one, I'll play for you. that was written on the minor scale. It's a minor key. So, and obviously, you know, that would fly to the moon. And originally it was a waltz as well, but I tend to play that one if we're playing out more with a bit of a jazzy feel with some backing on that. Anyway, well, just hold that there. Okay, and right. I'm going to show you the formula or the pattern in tones and semitones for the minor natural scale. So from A to B is a tone. You got the one in the middle. So from there to there, the semitone. From there to there is a semitone. Okay. So that is a tone. I'm going to try my freehand here if I can. And then from B to C is a semitone. Okay, there's no note in between the next door, so it's a half step. And then from C to D, with that in there, there's one semitone, there's two semitones, so that's a tone. We'll run out of space here in a minute, I think. Okay, and then from D to E is another tone. And from E to F is a semitone. Okay, and F to G is a tone. That's a tone. And from G to A is a tone. Okay, so the pattern or the structure in tones and semitones is tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. I don't know what they look like, numerals, don't they? But they're actually tones. Not much room there. So there you go. It's tone. Where are we going now? Yeah. Tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. Of course, coming down the pattern will be the same anyway. But you've got to work from the root note, because the scale takes its name from the root. It's no good trying to form the A minor scale on F sharp or E, because you're only going to form those scales, not the A minor. Okay? The A natural minor, that's that one, the A natural minor scale. Now the harmonic minor scale, the structure for that is a tone. A to B is a tone. B to C is a semitone. I'm struggling here again. And from C to D is a tone. And from D to E, which is always a starting point, is another tone. And from E to F is a semitone. Okay. And from F to G sharp is a tone and a half. There's one semitone, there's a second semitone, so that's a tone, and from there to there's another semitone. You could say you got from there is one, from there is two, from there is three semitones. People say it's 1.5 tones. Okay, and that's there from F. Which is semitones, 1.5 semitones. Okay, and then from G to there is a tone. From G sharp to there is a semitone. You can see that. That's the semitone. Okay. So that's 1.5 steps. From F to G sharp is 1.5 steps. And from there is then becomes a semitone. G sharp to there. I've already done it there. 1.5 tones. Okay. Okay then, so look at the melodic scale now. From A to B is a tone, and from B to C is a semitone, and from C to D is a tone, and from D to E is a tone, and from E to F sharp because we raised it on the 6 is a tone, and from F sharp to G sharp is a tone, that's a tone, and then from G sharp to A, the upper tonic, is a semitone. Okay, and that's it. Each one of them is the structure for forming either one of those scales. Okay, you can see that. Let's get a bit of a better look at the board, I think. You can see that. Each one is the structure. I can't get my camera in your eye, once it goes out. That's the structure for all that lot. Okay, but I won't worry that, and I won't get too worried about all this, because the more you look at it, the more it sinks in. It's not going to stop you from reading the music, and it's not going to stop you from learning the songs. But if you practice those scales, they're going to be beneficial to you. You know, I mean, at this stage, you are reading music if you keep looking back and going, and you're learning this first song. But you'll learn them a lot more now, a lot more quicker when we go through some. It's nice to know what you're doing so you can talk a bit about it. You know, as opposed to like if you were learning any other method, learning from numbers, you know, that's all right, fair enough for somebody. But, you know, I did see a comment where somebody says, will I be able to, now I can play, will I be able to read normal music? Well, they won't be able to read music because they're playing from a style of numbers. They ain't even learning no notational values or anything like that. So, no, they would have to start all over again, like what you are doing, whoever's got to this stage now. So you are reading music here. This is music, what you're reading out here now. And as we said, that's second line is G, because the decoder fixes to it there, circles round it, comes back through it, makes that line G. So the space that we know is going to be A, and then the next line after the space is B, and so forth, and you work up that way, and you say backwards coming back down, the alphabet backwards coming back down, and that's as simple as reading music is. It's so simple. People get deluded, you know, that it's, you know, and of course as regards to notes, musical notes, and beats, you actually clap to the beat. When you're at a disco, you're dancing to a beat, you're dancing on the beat, you're feeling the beat. It's like if I was to play a boogie bass, say in the left hand here, I'll do it all up here so you can see, something like this. I've turned the volume down, what's happening there? Are we on or are we not? Oh yeah, I must have muted it somewhere. But if I was to play that, well, there a minute. Transpose, no, got that on. Oh yes, get that back. Yeah, so. Now that's boogie bass, as we know, but it's 4/4, and all we're doing, if we're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so the 4 beats are in there. There's 1, and there's the and. There's 2, back to 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and then you can play 4 in this, so you can play 4 here. I'm just trying to show you a beat. We could play actually on the beat here. A bit closer, but you get the idea. I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, and then you play with it in the left hand. And so forth, but there you go. That's to come. And the most important part of Boogie Woogie is this, and it's got to be a solid beat, driving beat. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a minute regarding the other stuff. Right, okay then. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to do continuation of video 7 for you. I don't want to make the videos too long, so I'll leave this one at that. I'm going to do another one straight away to continue on for it. Okay, cheers then folks, cheers there.